All right, everyone, welcome to the first Thursday of the month, even though it's the second Thursday of the month. It is our personal development call, and we have our very own Shane, the Waterman Belcito, Mr. Seattle himself. He's always sleepless in Seattle. How many more puns and things can I throw out there? He's going to have us.
Upside down.
He's not upside down. He did promise he would behave tonight. Josh was in on that call. He heard the promise that Shane said he agreed to behave tonight. So we'll see if he actually follows through. But I understand he's going to have us reading some, was it Snoopy books?
Something to that effect.
Oh, Calvin and Hobbes. That's what it was, Calvin and Hobbes. Some of you don't even know what I'm talking about. Those of you that do are going, hey, those are good comic strips. All right, so Shane.
Thank you, Stacy. You know it would be Mickey Mouse. Come on.
You are true. You very true.
Yeah. Anyhow, thank you everybody for being here today. And you got an extra week on the last book, so I trust you all got through it. No excuses, except for Renee has a whole list of excuses. Some about rain. She doesn't know rain. All right. And last month's book was one of those books that you can tell a lot of it, Rory teaches us and shows us and such came out of that. This one too, you're going to catch a lot of pieces from this month's. I am making it easy on you since we're a little week later. And Rory keeps saying stuff over the last couple of weeks that keep reiterating that, yes, this is the book for the month of April. So I'm excited about that. I'll kind of give you some of the tidbits he said. But do you want to circle back to The Richest Man in Babylon? I know for some people that was a little tough. That had a lot of parables, it seemed like, didn't it? But, it just shows how simple things can be. Taking that 10% right off the top and paying yourself first and keeping, what I got out of it was the consistency aspect of it. Being able to stay consistent, being able to, map it out, just keeping it simple, that 10%, or you heard the different pieces and stuff. Some of it, I kind of had to hear a couple of times for it to sink in a little bit. Like I said, I hadn't revisited that book in a long time. So I'm trusting you guys were able to get through it. At least listening through the audio, kind of like what I've shared with you, a little bit in the morning or a little bit, schedule out your days so you're catching your personal development. It's best first thing in the morning and ending your day, as I've shared before. But I would like, if people are up to it, would somebody like to share what they got out of the book about The Richest Man in Babylon and how it helped them with, what their, and was it good timing? Anybody want to raise their hand and kind of let us know how that book was for them?
They are all shy.
All right, well, we're good. If you want to share, you can, but we're all family here, but that's fine. I'm sure some people may still be getting through it because, like I said, a couple things I kept having to rewind and get back to some parts and read, like, what in the world, especially towards the middle there, some bits and pieces. But then it made sense to me as it all wrapped it up. So, it wasn't a big book in a sense where it had a lot to teach you, but what it did teach you was a big deal. And that's kind of why I wanted that book in time for tax time and stuff too, so you can plan ahead for the next 12 months. But I'm fine with that. If you want to share or interrupt, please do. This month's book, though, I'll kind of go ahead and move on into it. It's one of those big authors that you hear about all the time. He's one of the ones still around for the moment. He's getting up there, but he's been alongside the Jim Rohns. He's been alongside the Zig Ziglars. He's one of those names, and that's why you're going to hear a lot of what Rory teaches and says and does coming, because Rory's devoured all his materials, and he has a lot, and I mean a lot. So I found the biggest, fattest book he has for us. Oh, wait, just kidding. Actually, it's one of his smaller books. And the principles in it are to help us just kind of stay focused. And what kind of I was ready to give this last Thursday until we figured things out with our schedule. But on the Tuesday call and stuff, Rory was talking about eating frogs. exactly. Like, oh, I already had the book picked out, but there you go. So that came in. Then this week, Roy was talking about focus, purely focused energy on your V marketing. You know, you sit down, you focus on your calls, you focus on a particular single project, you know, what's going on for you at that time. These are skills he's learned over his life from people like Brian Tracy. And so this month's book is one of Brian Tracy's big books for popularity, but one of his little books to read since we have short time for the month. And so we're going to go over the book, Eat That Frog, which sounds terrible, doesn't it? Unless you cook it up. But that's just it. And as you're going to find in this book, as you get the biggest, ugliest, worst tasting frog out of the way right away in the morning, it's going to get you more productive, get more things done, and even free up a lot of your time, as you'll hear in the book. So he's broken it down into 21 principles, where he goes over the different bits and pieces of how it's best to just take those largest, biggest, ugliest projects and get them out of the way right away. And the title of the book is Eat That Frog. I found the audio on. You can get used copies of the paperback for around $4. So it's a pretty reasonable book this month. And you can also get the new copies for less than 10, I think. So it's not a big book, but it's a great book to have as part of your library if you don't already have it, which I'm sure a few of you have it. So again, I would like you to revisit the book if you've read it before, please. I'll put the links up in Skype. I've also got you some bonuses. And then I did give you a link to his YouTube channel, but I'm going to caution you. He's got a lot. He's been doing this for many, 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 many years, just like Jim Rohn and other stuff when you go. So yes, use it. Yes, get good information out of it. He has a lot of targeted stuff. Got writer's block. That's one of his newest videos he just put up. That can help you with your pages. He's got a lot of, but don't sit and watch and listen to Brian Tracy for the next 12 hours and not work on your business. That's my caution. Take his stuff, play him alongside, use it as and get through this book. But careful, he's got a lot of good material that you can just sit there and absorb and absorb and absorb. So that's my caution with Brian Tracy. He is really good at sales too. And I don't look at us as salespeople. I see us more as educators. We're educating and we're sharing. But having that sales knowledge and that sales psychology as part of your knowledge can help you with your educating and your sharing and your writing of your pages. So if that's something that jumps out at you, jump on it. He's got that kind of, that's really his background is sales. That's, as you'll hear in the book, that's where he started at a young age. A lot of physical work up front, and then sales is what really got him his success. So kind of, take what you can get. This is one of the greatest. He is one of the teachers of our time, and you're going to get a lot even from this little book, Eat That Frog. So I'm excited for us all to get through it. And maybe in May, you guys will want to share how Eat That Frog helped you. Or does anybody want to share about The Richest Man in Babylon? I'm giving you another chance.
I'm looking for hands being raised.
All right.
I'm looking forward to the Eat That Frog. I actually had it on my list that I wanted to read it, but I've never made time to get to it. So I'm looking forward to that one. Deepak, you have some input on Richest Man in Babylon?
Yes. Incidentally, I work in Babylon town, which is a town in Long Island, New York. Just for everyone to let them know. And it's about more than 20 years. I bought this book and it is in my library with other few good books. And even I'm trying to recall because it's more than 20 years since I read them. But now, again, this weekend, I'm going to read it again, pull out that book from my library and going to read it. So that's what I wanted to share with everyone.
Awesome. And you could let us know too how what you get out of it. And that's kind of me too. My first visit of that book was around 20 years ago when one of my first mentors, Chris, had me read that book or listen to that book. And The Richest Man in Babylon and Think and Grow Rich. Those are her two. She always made everybody start with. So Niall and I started with that way back then. And it was neat to revisit because I hadn't since then. So 20 years later, let us know what you get out of it. So thank you.
Actually, Think and Grow Rich, I read when I was a medical student in year 74 in India.
I
It's
was
a,
one.
yeah, it's
All
a
right,
one
that's
of the
awesome.
very, it's
I
a one
won't
of the very
say, I won't say, but I was not even in elementary school yet.
That is awesome.
Okay. Well, I am 72 years old now.
There you go. There you go. And 73 years young. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. So yeah, keep plugging away. So I think you'll get a lot out of, coming back to the books too, like I did. So
Okay.
anybody else want to raise their hand?
I know one of the questions was, where will we find the books? April, great question. We have our team chats. And so if, you'll be able to watch for Shane's links on the team chats. We actually have 3 different team chats. Plus we have an instructor chat. So yeah, the instructors, we keep them busy by checking Skype chats a lot. But so Jackie and I share a chat. Shane has a chat for his specific students, and Chrissy has a chat for her specific students. And I know that Dawn and Rick have started their own chats. Greg, have you broken your team out to have your own chat yet, since you're GSI? Chris? You've got a chat? All right, perfect. Kelly and Robert? Where'd they go?
And I do have the links ready to go. So as soon as we hang up here, I'll toss them out there, and then you guys can take them over to your GSI chats from the big chats.
Exactly. And so it's going to be in either, if you're on one of my students, or your instructor is one of my students, it'll be on the Stacy and Jackie RR247 chat. If you are a student of Rick or Mark, it'll be also posted on the Rick GSI chat. If you're a student of Dawn's, it'll be in that chat as well. Same for Chris. Shane will have it on his for Chris's team and Kelly's teams as well. And Chrissy will have it for Renee and Greg. I think I've got all the who did I forget that's a GSI that's on here? Who am I forgetting?
I think you got them all.
I said Renee. I said Chrissy will be with Renee's. Do you have your own GSI chat, Renee? Okay. So yeah, when you guys become a GSI, that gives you the permission to have your own little team chat to cheer on your students, keep them informed, but you're still tied to us MSIs. We kind of kick you to the edge of the nest, but not out of the nest. Though tempting. Though tempting. All right. Shane, did you have anything else for us tonight?
At this point, no, I was just excited for that little book because I think we'll get a lot out of it. And I think it's good time to, give a 90-day push and take advantage of such skills from the book.
Gotcha. Well, I know that tonight, in an hour and 10 minutes, another MSI, Miss Nell Galinsky, is going to be teaching step 5 of all the trainings. So for the previous 4 weeks, Niall did step 1 that leads you through modifying, backing up your pages, modifying the home post, modifying your anchors. And then step 2 was me teaching about modifying all the different kiosk offers, which are changing. And then step 3, Linda did, and that was the category pages. So some of you have started step 1 and got distracted and started step 3. I need y'all to stop in your tracks and go back. Trust me, you will thank us later, because some of you got really creative on your category pages that made them look like offer pages, and we don't want that. So that includes the all things pages. Those are mobile category pages. Don't make them look like an offer page. Don't be selling anything on it. And then last week, Jackie taught us about creating new pages. And I know I shared my newest page that literally wanted to burst out of my brain on Monday. I wasn't gonna, or on Tuesday, it wasn't gonna let me do anything else that was on my schedule till I got that multiple streams of income page written. And you'll notice that there are no outbound links on that page. None. I'm not selling. I cross market, but I kept it very more just information, and that's the kind of pages we want to do. Oh, Chris is cooking Saturday brunch. Awesome. So guys, be on the Saturday calls, because the second hour, our own Chris Babb will be cooking with Jackie. That should be an interesting.
Yeah, I have to follow Laura. What the heck?
Well, I was wondering, is Jackie coming over to your house because you're in driving distance?
She hadn't mentioned it, but she'd be welcome.
Oh, goodness. All right, so I think
Chris,
that
are you gonna cook in the fish tank brunch? Can you do brunch food in fish tanks?
Actually, I probably will use it for a few things. So yeah,
Okay. I'm excited to
Maybe.
find out.
maybe. Who
Maybe,
knows?
maybe.
yes, Chris has a cooking fish tank.
It's pretty dang awesome.
We did do the chickens too.